MVPs. I'm going to talk about the next fight on the main card. It is the only girl fight on the card. Amanda Lemos versus Iasmin Lucindo. We'll start with Iasmin Lucindo. We saw her back in, October? Yeah, October the 5th. We got robbed, bro. Lucindo, she was fighting Marina Rodriguez, and she lost the fight. Now, the judges gave it to Rodriguez or to Lucindo, but she didn't impress me in that fight. We picked Rodriguez. Rodriguez outstruck her, okay? But unfortunately, there was 4 minutes of control time. And you might find yourself in that same situation here. But what you need to understand is that Lucindo, she's really young. She's 22, 23 years old. 23 years old. She's this type of fighter that is all wrestling and no damage. And Vegas hates wrestlers. Judges hate wrestlers. So she somehow wins the fight. But even when you're in dominant body positions, you're supposed to do some type of ground and pound. She has nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort. 55 strikes. She landed 55 strikes in 15 minutes. Bro, you have no ill will towards your opponent if you land 55 strikes in 15 minutes. You probably had an agreement backstage and said, yo, we're not going to hit each other too much. 55 in 15 minutes? It's fucking wild, bro, okay? So even though she's winning, now let's talk about it. She's winning. She's been fighting for a long time. And I say a long time. She's 23. Look at this shit. Back to 27. That means she was 16 years old in these first 4 fights. 16. And her record was counted against her. And then she ran into Gabriela Fernandez, who we know is a beast of a fighter, and Gabriela knocked her out. All right, so she's ran into some beasts. She's been subbed before. She gets finished. Now, it's hard to beat her on the judges' scorecards because she's such a great wrestler that she'll get a takedown and win the round that way. That's what she does. And she's young, athletic, and that's her path to victory. She doesn't really do much else to really move me like that. She's not a great striker. She's not even great at submissions. Let's be clear. She's been subbed twice in her career, and she's only subbed 3 people. And I say only one of them, one sub in the last however many fights that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 fights. She has 1 sub win in the last 13. Happens once in a blue moon. So if subs aren't a thing, her striking isn't a thing. It's just about wrestling and getting a takedown. That's how she's going to win the fight. And if that's the case, and if you believe in Lucindo like that, because she's got the youth, she's got the wrestling, then you go and bet her to win by points. And her winning by points right now, Iasmin Lucindo, by points is a plus 130. You don't parlay this with anything. This is a women's fight, number one. You don't parlay it with a flippant thing, okay? And if you think she's winning by points, it's right there. Now let's go talk about Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos is 37 years old. You heard me right. This is the second opponent that the UFC has given Lucindo that's 37 years old. Marina Rodriguez was 37 years old as well. So she's getting these old-ass fighters, and now she's getting one who's got a problem, all right? Amanda Lemos has a problem, and she wants to solve it with her fist. This is a real striker. This is a real puncher. And what's unique about this striker is she's a southpaw. And I've already told you, with the limited number of training partners you have in your camp, how many people are left-handed that can duplicate a left-handed fighter, can duplicate what's coming at you? Because Amanda Lemos is a real striker. Oh, by the way, she knows how to win by sub. Don't get it twisted. She can win by sub. She's only won 3 fights by sub. I don't care. She punches like a dude. Okay, and yeah, she lost to Crazy Eyes. We saw that fight. I think we picked Crazy Eyes that night. Crazy Eyes is a different type of wrestler, different type of fighter. She got subbed. But I've watched her go in there against real submission artists like Mackenzie Dern. They went 3 rounds. She went 5 rounds with the champ. So I'm not worried about her durability. Okay, I'm not worried about her durability, even at 37. What I'm worried about is if she gets taken down, she can't get back up. That's a problem. But she can do a guillotine. She can do an armbar. She can do Kimura. She can do a number of submissions from her back, or when you shoot on her up in a clinch against the cage. She's just crafty. She's It's a Brazilian fighter. She's got a base for jiu-jitsu, but man, the glaring difference between these two is striking. Amanda Lemos punches like a dude. She's swinging like a dude. So I just want to implore you, or I just want to advise you, I should say advise, I used the wrong word, that for me, I'm making this pick based on fandom. I'm not going to cheer for Iasmin to get a takedown and win a round. I'm just not doing it. It's a women's fight, bro. They're boring as hell. The go the distance really intrigues me. They expect there to be a submission or a knockout or something because what should the go the distance odds be? Well, they're minus 220 for this women's fight. And I think that's probably the best bet to make in this. Although I do believe in Amanda Lemos to win, I'm not sure how she's going to do it. She can do it any number of ways, and she's an underdog. I don't want to get too greedy. But that minus 220 to go the distance, that feels like a very parlayable thing on this fight card, to the point where you're going to get to positive money in a hurry with something that I think is going to happen pretty solid. Like, even if you thought Mauricio Rufy's winning, that's 135. That's pretty good. Okay? I don't want to go and give away any other picks there, but I'm on Santos to start. That's 120. You can pair it in twos with a number of things. Even if you think Carlos Leal's winning, that's minus 155. It's another story. Joshua and Curtis Blades, that's getting you to minus 116. Joshua Van's getting you plus money. So it's just one of those things where find another leg to parlay with this fight going the distance, because I think Amanda Lemos, I don't think she's going to knock her out. Let me be clear. These girls are 115 pounds. If there's anything that's going to be lost at 37 years old, it will be your knockout power at 115 pounds. This young girl, Lucindo's only been knocked out once in her life, and it was when she was 16, 17 years old against a UFC caliber fighter in Gabriela Fernandez, who's a monster. So the only time she's ever been knocked out is when she was a teenager. I wouldn't bet on that happening again, but I would bet on Amanda Lemos hitting her to the point where the judges are impressed with somebody who's actually doing damage and striking, as opposed to somebody who's a crotch sniffer. And that's exactly what Lucindo is. Is she a good takedown artist? Yep. And she'll frustrate you. And if you put money on Amanda Lemos, you will be extremely frustrated because her takedown defense is trash. Okay? Lucindo's going to get a takedown. Lucindo's going to win a round. You're probably better off going Lucindo plus 3.5, but you can't do that because she's the favorite. So it's maybe you go plus 3.5 on Lemos. I just think money line will be on Lemos. You shouldn't be betting on a girl's fight on the main card. It's just not where you need to make your money. But hopefully Lemos goes out there and pieces her up. I'll go with the value bet there. I need to improve my value bet rankings anyways. I hope I get it right. Like King Green, I know I'm bound to miss. I know that. I get it. Mauricio Rufy's going to win the fight. Got it. That's EV. This one here is not EV. This is, I legitimately think Lemos has a chance to win the fight. Different type of purple there. See, EV over here, I believe. So 3 of the purples, I believe they can win their fights. The other 2, the 500 and the 350, those are just, it's irresponsible to bet on the favorite. Understand the difference, MVPs. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows.